In this video, let's deep dive into Viva Pulse. So Viva Pulse is one of the application from the Viva suite. Viva Pulse provides a platform for managers, project leaders to request anonymous feedback from the teams. So basically, it's a tool for managers, project leaders to gain an insight into how the team is performing. Viva Pulse enables managers to get feedback and actionable insights from employees using surveys. So, survey is the main component within Viva Pulse. So, basically, it's about forming a survey and sending across to employees and understand various parameters. Now, the request for feedback is termed as Pulse, and that's where the name comes from for this particular application called as Viva Pulse. Now, the pulse is used to gain insight on the team's needs and sentiments. So, if there is a requirement from the team which needs to be fulfilled for the better execution of the project or for the better well-being, then those things get surfaced out as a part of the survey. And at the same time, we also understand the sentiments which is lying around within the organization or within the team. The sentiment can be positive, it can be negative, it can be neutral, but it's essential to gauge the pulse of the team for a specific manager or a project leader. Viva Pulse makes use of intelligent templates. So there are predefined templates, there are research based questions and analytics within Viva Pulse. So you need not do the hard work. Everything is well established with the research which has been already conducted well before you even start using Viva Pulse. And you can gain benefit of utilizing those templates for surveys. Now, Viva Pulse survey is usually short and up to the point, hence can be completed quickly. So, unlike other organization survey, whereby it takes maybe 15-20 minutes, Viva Pulse survey is usually short so that there is an uptake of those surveys by the employees and they can fill up the responses and hand it over back to the manager. Users can browse questions topics to set as their subject matter for Pulse. So there are various categories which I'm going to demonstrate in a while, whereby users can browse through various question topics and set their subject matter for the Pulse survey. Viva Pulse empowers organization users to share and expose to the knowledge gained. Viva Pulse offers suggested learning and actions on relevant topics based on Pulse result. Now, once a Pulse survey is conducted, there might be a lot of action items. So that's called as a that action items is basically translated into suggested learnings and actions based on relevant topics selected for the Pulse results. Viva Pulse, from a licensing perspective, is available within Viva Workplace Analytics and Feedback. Viva Pulse is available as a part of Viva Suite subscription. Note, Microsoft Team license is required to use Viva Pulse. So, it's not just a standalone Viva Pulse license, but then you need to have Microsoft Teams license. Alongside, you need to either have a Viva Suite subscription or you need to have a Viva Workplace Analytics and Feedback subscription. Now, the capabilities of Viva Pulse is it's a research-backed template. So it's industry standard research which has already been conducted, and lots of lessons being incorporated within those research-backed templates. Sentiment analysis detection. So it has a module which analyzes the sentiment of the outcome of the survey. Trend analysis reports by focus area. So we gain an insight on various parameters, and the dimension is time basically. So you can conduct those surveys frequently, like quarterly, monthly, or semi-annually or yearly, and then trend through those analysis so that you gain insight on how the organization or a department or a team is performing, and then provide those actionable insights to relevant teams. Discover the recommended suggested action. So system also recommends some sort of an action to be taken. Now we can get aggregated confidential team sentiment information, and there's an ability to customize questions, templates, etc. So it's not like a hard fast a survey which is already given to you, but then you can customize the questions, options, templates, etc. And it also sends brief surveys for automated schedules of those surveys. So basically, you can schedule those automation on when the survey needs to be sent across to the users. Now this is how the screen looks like. Now this is about question gallery, so there might be question with regards to feedback, there might be question with regards to resources. If the user or the team has a resource dire need of resource requirement, then these questions are important. If there is an issue of empowerment, then these set of questions are important. Then there is a flexibility related issue. So if you see the question base, it says I am satisfied with my ability to choose when and where I work. So that talks about flexibility. And similarly, when you go for growth, you have I have good opportunity to learn and grow within this organization. So these set of questions can be selected manually and then passed as a part of the survey. Now this is like some of the screens. So if you see, this is a question template. So there is a service for managers and leaders, which they can provision, either related to team success or well-being or hybrid working, or specifically focused on managers input. Now, work life balance. So, there is a survey which talks about work life balance. So, here there is a question name, there is a question text, and then there is a scale through which you can add a question. And then it also specifies some sort of an estimate, like when the survey can be completed, the time to complete, and the number of questions. Well-being pulse, again, it talks about the response rate as well as the scale indicator of how the team is performing in terms of stress, safety, equality, flexibility, boundaries, and all those parameters can be tracked. Okay. And if you see this column, it says versus previous, so 12%, so that means stress has increased, or maybe versus previous 8%, so safety management has increased within that organization. And that's why it will also suggest some corrective actions like improve physical working conditions for safety, stress for more flexibility in when I work, and from a boundary perspective, more focused time during working hours, so that your team member doesn't get disturbed quite frequently just for attending meetings, and they don't get time to work on a specific project. Now, again, corrective actions will be either a training or some learning or some courses. So those all can be triggered through LinkedIn courses. Again, Viva Pulse doesn't operate independently, so Viva Pulse can give and handover kind of a thing to Viva Learning, so that people within your organization can start the learning process. And also, it tracks the trend. It's the scores over time. And then now, if you see one of the parameters like boundary is down 10% since Jan 2022, and it will give a real indicator of how your organization is performing. Share well-being pulse results. So you can share the results with all the users. So that there is a basically, if you see, read the statement, it says practice transparency by sharing pulse result with other individuals or team. To protect the privacy of respondent, answers to open-ended questions will not be shared. And you can also share a note while sharing the pulse results. Right. So if you see in the screen, this is Microsoft website. So here you will navigate to Microsoft Viva Pulse. So if you see the statement, it says empower managers to get feedback quickly and take action using the brief team and project-based service. Viva Pulse is included with the Viva Suite subscription. Now, if you click on features, these are the features we talked about. Research back templates. So it's we can send brief service using templates designed by expert in people science. So all the research has already been done. You just need to use those template and uh, generate the surveys, and the user within your organization can respond to those surveys. Sentiment analysis, it gets a quick snapshot of how favorably teams are feeling about relevant topics. The topics can be multifold. Okay, it can be related to stress, it can be related to well-being, it can be related to the boundaries. So it can be related to flexibility, safety, and all those kind of things. Suggested action, again, this is all about recommending the action based on the survey results. So this is an after after solution, I would say, after the survey. Confidentiality, all this information are aggregated, and all the details are confidential, so the manager will not come to know from which resources you are getting those information. Okay, so confidentiality is the key over here, and manager will just get an aggregated result that how the team sentiment is going within their organization. Now, customization, all these reports, surveys can be customized by adding existing question, or you can customize your own questions for the surveys. Reporting, analyzing results and trends over time. And de-identified report is share results to initiate conversations about key topics within your team. So de-identified report is basically you summarize those reports which has been generated by the system, and that will act as a conversation point to take that activity forward. Okay, so if there is an issue with regards to safety, then how can the issue related safety be resolved? Okay, so by collaborating, by communication between various team members or team leaders, and it is completely built on Microsoft 365, so it's very easy to deploy in Teams and on web. Now, I showed you this part. This is all about browsing through the questions. So you can have the questions with regards to feedback, resources, empowerment, flexibility, and growth, and many more. So you can search for a questions or topic over here, and you can select specific questions. Template grounded in research. This is about team success, well-being, hybrid working, manager focus, and many more templates. You can also start from scratch if you want to create a pulse survey. Then you can also start from scratch if you don't want to use the template. Customization, you can customize the question which exists within the template, or you can have your own defined question. Here on the left hand side, you will get a lot of recommendation with uh, well-being and burnout, hybrid work. So there are a lot of categories over here, so you can select the categories, and based on categories uh, uh, the the survey questions can be framed. Now, make sure that your survey is concise, precise, and up to the point, and it shouldn't be like more comprehensive, because we don't want people to get burnout while giving the survey response. Critical real-time data. So here, if you see this user TR Derby requested well-being feedback, 2 minutes to complete, expires on 23 April. Now, what does this indicate is that this particular user has been requested this feedback survey, and now the survey has an end date, so it has to be completed within specific date. So once this date has reached, then Viva Pulse will generate the report automatically, and the user need not wait for months for the survey result to be collated. So this all happens automatically, and you will get an instant feedback once all the team member within your organization completes the survey by the specified end date. Sentiment analysis. Here again, all the survey participation candidates response rate are recorded, because this is also important. Even if you frame a survey, there might be some staff who may be reluctant to provide a response. Okay, so in your organization, if the response rate is maybe 90-95%, then that means there is a lot of uh, I'll say uh, positive response by your organization staff member. If response rate is around 67%, then that means 10 out of 15 people have provided feedback, and you need to undertake some exercise with regards to campaign management to better this number, because the more response you get, the more accurate would be the result. And also, there is an option to resend the pulse or share the pulse URL using Teams chat, or it can be drafted through an email. Confidential feedback. Now, what could help in this area? Choose up to two options below. More flexibility in when I work, additional team members, more equitable division, boundaries between work and life. So we can have those sort of, we can encourage feedback by keeping responses confidential. So all those responses can be aggregated, and confidential team sentiment data can aid managers and project leaders for their own development purpose as well. Informed action reporting would give you a sense of how those scoring happens across various areas like stress, safety, quality, flexibility, and how it fared across previous year, and any suggestions or actionable items for the team to perform. Okay. Trends over time will give you again trending data across the time. So if you repeat the survey over a period of time, then you can see that score over time and question favorability. Like 66% of the respondents were favorable in this particular example. So you get some sort of a donut chart or some sort of a chart which will give you a result at a glimpse. Shareable report, you can also share this well-being report with your team. Now this is de-identified report, so that means you can initiate conversation with your team on key topics surfaced in the results. So these particular reports can be shared across various pulse recipients, and also a customized message can be sent. So that's it, folks. This is all about Viva Pulse. Thanks for watching.